Hello everyone, Felix here. I'm back. Please bear with me at the moment because my arms are a bit sore from pumping so much iron, pumping so much iron yesterday. So, I would like to address this current situation that we have going on here. For those unaware of this current situation, hold on. Let me see if this is functioning correctly. If this broadcast is if this broadcast is functioning correctly. Yes, it is. All right. Yes, it is. Chat is up. Chat is up. So, addressing this current, very tragic, of course, situation between the Leacons and the Star Knights. Of course, the subject of the ongoing war. We even have new footage. Where is that? We have new footage from the front lines of as everything happening everything happening so quickly. Audio jungle, audio jungle, audio jungle. Um, Unfortunately, I'm not able to fully ascertain the geopolitical situations of both parties, of either parties partaking in this tragically violent and reckless conflict, but I can say without a doubt, they're gonna need some defensive capabilities, and by that I mean everything we have here, everything we have here, which is not finished. Now, please, Barry, welcome to now. Felix, you might ask, Felix, why are you doing this? What is the point of all this? Well, as you know, of course, I believe that love can in fact bloom on a battlefield. In fact, we're seeing it bloom already. The captured Leocons reportedly asked for severe punishment and attempted to kiss Star Knights. Of course, we are already seeing love happen on the battlefield, and while it is not entirely my purpose to ensure that the battlefield happens, I'm here to at least ensure that love happens, and and well, we do know love, of course, can bloom on a battlefield, so we must ensure that keeps going on for a little bit more. After in the immortal words of Lieutenant Morgan of the Atarian Imperial Army, war will not end until all the violent people are killed. What a succinct and timeless quote from our dear friend of history. For those who get the reference, I salute you. Anyways, so I have been on behalf of the Pakistan West Industries Corporation. I have been cobbling together this humble storefront for all of you. It is unfortunately only half done, and it comprises a tragically small section of what will be available soon on the in this very modern and very active battlefield. After all, but just a few weeks ago, we were merely providing. Let me go find it. We were merely providing Type 33E export variants for both sides. However, unfortunately, these are just mere export variants, very bare bones, not much to play with, not much toys on them for our customers to sink their teeth into. But this was admittedly for necessity. We didn't want them playing with our newest and greatest equipment, but all that being said, the war has accelerated to such a point where we're providing our full package services are a necessity. After all, have you taken a look at this terrifying footage? I believe that's Regalian Kingdom ZTZ 99s or some previous variant of the T-72 being provided to the Leocons. Now, I am unsure if, at this current moment, I know they are fielding our tanks, as well as I know they are both sides are fielding our tanks, and the Leocons are also fielding both some variant of the Leopard 2 and these T-72 variants. It would do them very well, of course, to standardize on something. And while many of the weapons that we may, the defensive, of course, entirely defensive weapons we may be providing are may be considered unoriginal or copies of another thing, on the battlefield, standards are secondary just to love. So, upholding these standards and making it available to everyone as much as possible is our key to turning a to being able to satisfy our customers and to satisfy our customers and be able to bring about a more effective and more, at the end of the day, more peaceful and more and cleaner battle space. So ignore that we have, well, do not ignore that. Actually, that is for, I assure you, we are selling flamethrowers for the pure express purpose of clearing vegetation and brush and preventing and doing controlled burns of forests to make sure no wildfires happen. That is our utmost priority. But um, that is, of course, available. And I will be continuing to update this storefront as long as we are continuing with this broadcast. This is fun. Um, as we can see, unfortunately, we are more specialized in the more, how you say, simplistic equipment, and we may be providing FPV munition drones at some point in the near future. But it seems the Star Knights have been able to take care of that themselves, given this recent development. Um, priority bulletin. Dorimu's joining the Star Knights coalition, of course. Where should we start? Okay, I guess we should start with the first things, which are available to both sides. The PRA line package. Update your forces at the standards currently enjoyed by the Pakistani Republican Army, of course, which we are all familiar with our great and glorious nation of Pakistan and what we are able to provide for you. We have everything a growing army needs to fight and march on its stomach. Everything we have the newest and latest of everything. All kind of. Now, what is more interesting, of course, is the tailor-made packages that we have for both the Royal Awalan Army for the Awalan Empire, also known as the Star Knights, and um, for the Leocons and the Labhams or the Asami Industry Security Group, which, the unfortunate part of this is I have not been able to fully ascertain what the Leocons are capable of using well. As a result, we kind of have this particular situation going on with the Leocons. Of course, this is not to demean them. We are more than willing to accommodate whatever they would like, whatever they would need. Whatever they would like or whatever they would need. So, but this does present a bit of a predicament for most of them, I should say. I mean, at the very least, their generally smaller size allows them to be more effective when shielded under cover when taking cover from enemy fire. So that should surely helps in some ways. There's no one chatting yet. um, where should I go from here? Of course, what we have been advertising the most. Well, actually, we should update the storefront and see what the Leocons and Labhams might be best suited for. Love Bugs have confirmed it intend to join the Star Knight Coalition. Well, that is a surprise to us because after all, we are familiar with um where is that? Where's that news bulletin? We are currently in a positive, very positive trade relationship with with the love bugs. Uh, uh, as of course as acknowledged, we are their biggest customer, and some of their products are being sold on this Winco storefront um as part of our armored vehicle packages. So, of course, we function as an importer as well. We import and demonstrate things in house. But I think where we might start is our very comprehensive and available. Excuse me, I gotta get tissues. My deepest, of course, apologies for that. Doing this in the autumn can have some repercussions for everyone. Of course, as you know, we are we are in allergy season. Saying. Anyways, so starting off with what we're available, what we have available for such as our MU-91 and MU-93 series, so based on the HKG3 and HK33. As we all know, their Empress Jelly Hoshimi is a very big hardliner for efficiency and availability, and I think there are few more dreadfully and frighteningly efficient weapon systems out there than the HK roller delayed platform, the G3, the 33, the MP5, all that. Of course, here at Winco, we are providing our very own our very own version, such as extruded aluminum lowers. Better than that plastic stuff they've been shipping out. So it's modular, so it can accept generally anything. Feeds to nag, everything there. Something that I have been I am very proud to offer is our revival of the Maxim gun platform, as we are aware that they are still very relevant in modern warfare, and I do think that the Star Knights would be able to make very good use of that. Anyways, this is all special in its own way, but it's a bit humble. It's not the most it's not the most pertinent of. I am kind of relying on like questions on what will do for what. Admittedly, like speaking out of character, I did hope that more people would be attending. But I know like most of my audience isn't into that. But you know, it's a nice experience. I'm having fun. I just like I want something to bounce back on. Oh, that's a weird glitch. Hold on. Let's check responsibly selling these products. Anyways, our oh yeah, that is something that is in fact going on. For our tactical supplements are such as our very good Vin, like of course I'm as we're all aware, Phase Coffee is available to generally all sides of this conflict as 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 effective of a stimulant that is. We do have alternatives such as Pipvidin, um a long-lasting energy supplement in the form of a chocolate candy bar. If you're aware of Tanker's chocolate or Pilot's chocolate, it's the same concept. It'll keep you awake, running, and energetic for most of the day. Um, it's- we have our lovely Vin Hariani. Are of a distinct caffeine coca ethylene mix of stimulant and pain duller in a sweet cola and grape flavored refresher. And coca ethylene is cocaine and alcohol. And of course, our beloved Pakistani MREs, a wide selection of Pippa inspired. Well, generally any dish made by Pippa, you'll get like our most popular so far is her grilled series. Although I am aware that her 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 Walmart hash brown in ramen pack is very popular at the moment. Yeah. But okay, we're still filling this part out, but we do have this. We do have our Type 333M Panzer One main battle tank, inspired by the iconic M60 Patton. We have been. This is our first indigenously designed tank that has already proven itself in the rigors of modern warfare. The M variant distinguishes itself with an autoloader, moving the commander into the hull and allowing for a higher fire rate and reduced crew risk, alongside improved armor in both ERA and ceramic elastic composite, updated sensors, and heavier armament. Um, this is this is of course a mock-up. It's just a mock-up of what we have. It does not encompass the entirety of the vehicle, but the end product will look very much like this. And so far, what we have are what we have are the where do I start with this? I'm just listing statistics, but the statistics can be interesting. We do have a 120 millimeter gun, same as on the Abrams, but it does have, like the Leclerc, unfortunately, both fortunately but gloriously, our supreme leader Pippa has not permitted us to allow any French parts to be used on on our defensive projects. So we had to design this all from scratch. So it does come with an autoloader, just like the Korean K2 and the French Leclerc, but it is an entirely proprietary design meant to be as simple and reliable as possible. 6 round revolving autoloader that replenishes automatically from the reserve. 36 rounds of that. It's a bit low for a modern tank, but we're here to travel light and travel quick. After all, we also had to make room for the autoloader. Um, Previously, we were selling these without the autoloader because um we didn't think the war would get this far, quite frankly. So what we have are APHEBC solid shot, which we have been mostly providing. Um, that will be phased out in the semi near future, but it is available as long as it is, because it is a very very cheap um APFSDS depleted uranium kinetic penetrator, heat FS, or heat fin stabilized for the copper lance, the HE and the HE frag, HE incendiary and canister shots, so you can generally do all kinds of fire support, not just against tanks. Gun is stabilized with negative 12-degree depression and plus 20-degree elevation. And one of our most famous features is the six What's up, my man? I'm not staying for too long. Just wanted to say hi to you, my guy. Thank you for popping in, Kilroy. Thank you at least for checking out our wonderful Winco storefront. It really, as it relates to this current very very intense and very very this very intense and pertinent conflict of our times, the Liacon Star Night War, which is rapidly evolving into a full-blown entire phase war. Of course, Pakistan is neutral in all dealings associated with this war. Fully neutral, just um it is we do support the defense, the defensive and security capabilities of both countries in this trying time, as you understand, for both of them. But we do have what we do have are the six Dizzy Dokuro Corporation DTCRF. I believe that's abbreviation for Dizzy Torpedo, Dizzy's Torpedoes. for and I cannot for the life of me remember what the C stands for, but we do have these. Oh, that's something else. That's something else as well. Um, tons of damn. I should seriously grow my contacts for my gun running operation. Tons of profit being lost here. Of course, we make everything ourselves here in Pakistan, so it is always going to be available at any time. But we do have these semi-automatic to command line of sight as fired by the gunner. Um, these are a bit too large. The warhead is a bit too large. Normally, these would be fired out of the main gun, but as you can see, the missiles are a bit too large for the main gun, so we decided to move them onto the sides, just like taking inspiration from fellow glorious nation North Korea, who have mounted these ATGMs on the sides of the turret. We are doing the same thing for ours. And as we can see from this combat, where's that? As we are seeing from this combat footage, these missiles have proven themselves very effective in combat against even normally what would be considered more advanced platforms such as these Regalian Kingdom T-72 variants. One shot, one kills, as you can see there. And if you think that's good, you should see the stuff that's being fired out of our main guns. One of our lovely from the view of one of our lovely Type 333s being moved around in combat and being on this front. I actually haven't seen this part of the video. Yes, this is our this is out of the view of our fully stabilized ballistic computer tank scope, which are available on the Type 333E. Yeah, do mind the exhaust. Do mind the exhaust. I'm afraid. Well, the second one. Well, it works. It works. Trust me. You have to trust me. It works. It'll work. That one worked that time. Oh, that's a BMP-2. I didn't realize the Regalian Kingdom, despite being a monarchy, it has so much Soviet equipment. I wonder where that came from. Yeah, I think that's a BMP-2. Do mind the fumes, of course. The ones being provided on this model are wire guided, but we would, for the sake of extended range and simplicity, we would prefer ours to be wireless. I am aware that, for the sake of simplicity, for that, let's see how effective that is. I believe that stopped it. 30th Mechanized Outlaw upgrades. We thank you for your. Well, of course, we are entirely neutral. This is a very tragic war, but we are very thankful that you have been using our equipment to defend your homeland, Mr. Lazy Clipper. 8 enemy tanks, 4 IFVs, and 8 APCs have been confirmed destroyed in the battle. You see, even with substandard ammunition like our like the BC that we have been providing to the Star Knights, they have been able to achieve significant victories. So if they're running that, just imagine how much oomph you'll get out of our actual non-monkey model sales. It's all. What about their small arms? Ooh, we do have the provided package that we have for the Star Knights. Of course, these are all Heckler & Co. And we have the Setmi for their machine guns and the Rheinmetall MG3. As we know, their Empress Jelly Hoshimi is a very big fan of efficiency. So we decided to get only the most efficient arms for them, in at least in our opinion. They have been providing us. They've been providing them to us to upgrade packages where we send them back, and I must say this is a pretty good agreement because they seem to know what they're doing. The Star Knight. So as a general analysis of what we're seeing, um, the conflict between the Star Knights and the hold on, let me get the image of the of, um we have both factions involved in this war. Where where is this? Of course, a- as we are aware, one of our one of our updated MG3s under the designation MU-82 being utilized on the Star Knight front, and this is as a general what we can make of both sides of this. Of course, our equipment will be available to both sides in their provided available configurations. What does that sound? Anyways, um, it's all armored combat. Well, as you can see, we are beginning to see elements of aerial combat as well, and Pakistan will be happy to provide once we get that part of our storefront up. But we are, it seems most engagements are limited to the ground. Um, where is that? Most of these engagements have been limited to ground skirmishes on the border, after negotiations between both parties failed. How that could how that could have happened, I don't know why. Yes, this is in fact one of our Type 333E MBTs, one of our export variants being used to crash the attempted peace negotiations and attack the leaders of both sides, forcing the war to continue. Um, this is their the Star Knights did this. I don't know why they did this, but they did in fact do this. This is them. This is them. This wasn't us. This wasn't us. This was them. This was them. I don't know why you'd be thinking it was us that did this, but it's them. It was them. It was always going to be them that was doing this sort of very irrational, but I guess somewhat understandable act of violence. So this is this is way too weeb autistic for me to even be able to follow what the hell is happening here. If I'm able to find the Casus Belli of the yeah, this is the this is the Queen of Regala, the Princess of Regala, the Crown Princess, Himemiya Rie. I would like to formally state that our country and citizens will be staying neutral in the war between the Leocons and Star Knights. Um, we do believe that the Kingdom of Regalia is and has in fact broken this neutrality, this generally applied neutrality agreement, and has been providing armor to the Leocons, to the Republic of to the Ashelia Republic. Let me up that. Ashelia Republic. And lab hams. So something something that you will be able to follow is, unfortunately, um as you can see from the current situation, of what we believe the Lea, the Le- the Leocon, the Ashelia Republican Army of the Leocons, and the lab hams of what we believe, we do have this sort of situation going on. So I have experienced some elements of what's the word? What's the word? A bit of, how should I say this? It's a bit of difficulty in finding appropriate arms for them to field. Ironically, we did end up deciding that Oh, that's the wrong image. That this that this general platform for like M1 Garand, M14, Mini 14, M1 Carbine have like how are generally the appropriate we have decided that we'll provide those to them, although we cannot find heavier weapons that they be maybe better suited for, as with their larger caliber rifles. And of course, everything is supposed to be tailor-made for them, which has made finding things for them quite difficult. But we are happy to provide at the end of the day. This is just GI Joe VTubers. What the fuck? I don't watch Face Connect. This is going way too far. Like jokes aside, this is all like I'm trying to find. Let me find the origin. Um, let me. Yeah, let's we do have the we do have the casus belli of this war. Um, let me go find that. Let me go find that real quick. This is ESL clips. All uh, all all credit to him. This is not my video. Wait, is that more? Is this Phase World? Liacon Star Knight Omega War. I believe I know what Omega stands for, but I'm not gonna comment on that because I don't want that curse on me. This is some great VHS effects. 8 minutes. I didn't even. Well, the long and short of this is
Yeah, we're moving against the Liacons next week or something. We're gonna call them.
they're gonna do that to them. Well, that means we
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah,
Oh,
Leah
they're
called the Stark Knights out, man. For the unwashed masses. So for the typical Stark Knight. Oh, sorry. 2 showers. And I put them next to each other, so if we have an extra wide Stark Knight come in, then they can feel welcome. She put 2 showers and said that's for the 4XLs when she should have put 4 showers instead. Absolutely unbelievable. So we gotta go on an extreme and call her gay. And no, actually we call her Leacons gay, not her. I mean, she's also gay. I mean, I don't know. She also said we didn't shower. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I love that.
I like how
Like,
she had to
just
stop
like
her.
speaking out of character, I am like genuinely really like I have a lot of I love when it's fun. I love when it's fun when we get to like LARP in between in the communities, and even Sakana has even Sakana has gotten in on where is it? Even Sakana has gotten in on this.
Herself from saying that after she said it. I think it was
Part
really
one.
How
Wait,
dare
hold on.
she
Part
slander
one.
us, the big
Part two
Chad.
might not be out yet.
The big Chads. 4XL Knights. Leah probably likes getting bullied though. All the better. Maybe your fans are getting bullied too. Please tell me you shower. I shower, dude. I shower once a day.
Hold on. Let me. I do. I do have.
Today was horrible. I think you guys should shower. I think showering is good for you. You know what? Guys?
I do have record of
You have no excuse.
Where is that?
To not shower. Like whenever you're sweaty or something. I would say
yes, we're watching this whole clip.
I would say at least once a day. But I know some of you come from cold climates and you probably don't need to shower once a day. But I'm just saying,
I do have to be a bit more quiet because we do have people downstairs.
Shower as a woman because you have freaking hair, dude. My My hair is so freaking long. It takes me
Where
20 minutes
is
to dry
that?
every single time I take a shower. And I still take a shower once a day. Segue here from your Facebook covers. I've done my special animus, hoping covers from Jelly versus Leah.
New development
I
from
think it'll be really
someone who
fun. I
we
think it'll be
are
way cool.
likely
I
to
think it'll be a
expect
very
is
interesting
going to be allied with the Star
incident.
Knights. We do have Lumi here, who is who has been praising the latest development from Lockheed Martin. Brother, yeah. It's conflict of hold on. Yes, this will take a while. I do have the beginnings of this conflict somewhere. Um, where's that Jelly Hoshimi? Um, hold on, where is that? The ultimate Star Knight. Let me go. Oh, that is a bit provocative. Hold on. Um, unfortunately, in real life, Jelly is like pretty sick with a fever, so I hope she gets okay. Um, unsweetened lemonade. There we go. There we go. We have the Wait, hold on. The Leocons were a tribe of peaceful femboys located between Pakistan and Korshikistan. Hold on, this is the true. Yeah, we have the starting incident. A peaceful life with many activities such as kissing each other and gooning to Leah. This piece should be protected by the leader of the tribe, Leah. That is some pretty good art. Like, even if it is like kind of low effort, it is good art. Overlooking everything in her white gold tower, the ivory tower, which besides being a literal ivory tower, may also have a different meaning, something more Freudian. Just across the river, we encounter the Awawa Legion, also known as the Star Knights. Militarized autocracy by Shelly with Iron Fist. She is awfully efficient at what she does. A place with 12-hour weekdays, working beside the river, and jelligenics are legal. Hold on, is that Hogwarts? This resulted in the Star Knights, humans with 4XL size and power. The populace was thanks to the Jorbs that patrol the country. This is new lore for me. I'm gathering intel for what I should do. If it is how I will fight this menace. The Leocons were tribe of femboys. Oh, you're picking sides. You're siding with the Star Knights, are you? I don't like lollies. The Leocons are a tribe of. What about Leah? The war would start with a surprise attack from Leocons. The target was Starling Rat. A massive gay bomb was dropped on the city. The editing lines were hit pretty hard, leaving the Star Knights with no ad revenue. Leah could also make fun of the Star Knight's size and smell. So at least we are familiar with the borders of Pakistan. We are a bit small, but we are a wealthy nation. But no, on the lower side of the lolly, I will sell weapons to the hotbait. But what if both of them are jelly, hot gangster? Jelly, Jelly would not take long to retaliate. She would open the editing mines. Well, you see, who's taking sides in this? We do have, oh, hold on, where are the love bugs? Lab ham. So we have the lab hams. Where's the Butter cookies. Love bugs have confirmed. So we do have where is she? Um um we we do have her. Um we do have her. They we I mean they Phase has her on the Star Knight side. So if there's any reason for you to go to war for the lollies, it's this one. Look at that World at War mission starter. Army was 83.6 million, all marching to Liacon territory. A staggering 2.5 miles per day, not counting Phase Donald shops. Stops. Oh yeah, no, they're not octopi, they're jellyfish. Only 227,000 soldiers. 90% of them were femboys. They were sent bombing runs to slow down the Star Knights. Sadly, they were ineffective. The Star Knights had natural insulation and protection from several layers of dirt and fat. A miracle if they wanted to win this war. It's all lollies. Does Face have hot babe? God damn it! Well, we have Dizzy. We have Dizzy, and we have Lumi. Hold on, where's Lumi? We have that's Gumbun's ass. Excuse that. Um, that's Gumbun's ass. We have Kaneko Lumi, who is also assumed to be on the Star Knight side. Alternatively, hold on. Alternatively, have we hold on. We do also have Amy Asami on the other side of this conflict for the Leocons. Certain bunny head miracles for sale. That's us. That's us. So we are confirmed to be seeing some element of an air war going on. Pakistan, that's us. That's us. Always been an odd area. It's our war. No more so since the graduation of its leader, Pip Pippa. Pip Pippi's had no movies. That's a joke. In reality, that's a joke. Pippa has not graduated. Pippa has not graduated. So now they had no purpose but to cause chaos. Some speculate the war was caused by Pippa. Said explainer. This didn't happen. This did not happen. That would explain her sudden disappearance. Nonetheless, and because the Leocons needed firepower and Capipis had some for sale, which we certainly do. We certainly do. A genuine artistic amplification field of traditional Star Knights. Okay, that's above my pay grade. I'm not familiar with that one. Genuine artistic. A dealer's truck and the PPs we get some Leah feedback. We already have them. We're providing it to both sides. We're providing to both sides. Part 3, where are we now? This is unfortunately some elements of this does contain propaganda. The war is still ongoing, new major battles still happen. As we can see, this is rapidly devolving from a ground skirmish into an air war as we see what's going on here. We will have to be selling aircraft soon. Others have suggested that a sloppy kiss between Lee and Jilly would solve this conflict. I'd pay to see that. As an expert on this war, I'm gonna have to agree with his alternative. It's a lol. It's a fucking autism 9000. Yeah, one like on this video, and I will make this a reality. Of course, love can in fact bloom on a battlefield. Anyways, going back to our regularly scheduled programming. Hold on. Um, Settling on what we do know for the for the Leocons. Um, I would, but we do have a wide selection of. We don't. The issue is they're not. The issue is this primarily. We don't know what to give them that they can carry on their own. Of course, there are a lot of them, but as a sort of geopolitical analysis of this situation, of this current situation that we have going on here, the as seen as seen here from specialists such as Silvoris Kako Kamekuli. I'm sorry, I can't pronounce his last name. Fellow male tuber, by the way. Go check him out. Um, and where is that? Let me go find him. There we go. Hold on. I'm the um. Where is that? Let me go find it. Um, the U.S. government declares for the Leocons. RFK declares war on the Star Knights. The face he is updating. Green is led as the Leocons are battle hardened. Well, in my humble assertion, that would be the opposite. The Star Knights are a bit self sufficient. They have been at this for a long while now. Um, are green as lettuce. The Leocons are the ones that haven't been that like are lacking a bit of practice, which is why we are affording them our special weapons package. Um, 90% of the Phase Connect defense industry reports to Team Star Knight. um, I have since declared for the Leocons. So as we can see here, we have two major specialists who have declared for the Leocons in their appropriate war, despite being outnumbered. They are being heavily funded, despite the and they are seemingly on the offensive now, as evidenced by where is this? Oh, as evidenced by this combat footage. So what was the name of that villain phase girl? This is Dizzy Dokuro. This is Dizzy Dokuro. She normally looks like this. Um, where is that? Yeah, she normally looks like this. So is the name of that villain face girl. Yeah. Well, a lot of them are. We also have Rooney seemingly has not declared for anyone yet. We are seeing major, like, as you can see, foreign mercenaries have been involved are getting involved on the side of the Leocons. So this is in order to support them in their offensive against the very well entrenched Star Knights. But going back to what we do have for sale, besides speaking of entrenchments and tanks and all that sort of thing, our for our 120S are the um we are working on improving this storefront. No dudes in phase. Sakura just wanted so crazy, so crazy loser girls. It's a no male it's a no male company, friend. It's a no male company, Kilroy. They wouldn't to be fair, like I would not join, like, even I know I'm a liability, so like even if they did allow them, like even if they did allow men to apply, I wouldn't join. I wouldn't join. But what we do have, I'm very proud of this creation. The Type 334M infantry fighting vehicle, a modified type, excuse me, a Type 333 hull redesigned as a heavy infantry fighting vehicle. intended for assaults under fire. High modulated with other Type 333 platform vehicles. Allows for simplicity and ease of maintenance with a rear-facing top hatch. A rear top-facing hatch for entry and exit by infantry. We have the, of course, there's space for eight passengers if you're eight. There's eight space for eight passengers if you. Where's that? Where? Hold on. Where is that? War profiteering nonsense. My that's Rin Mama. That's her mom. Um, where is that? We haven't. Um, there we go. If you're this size, the IFV can seat 8. And if you're this size, the IFV can suit maybe around 4. That's good enough for me. The space does come at a bit of a limit there. Hold on, thinking of it again. Think it squads are an odd number because of the because of the presence of the commander. So I think we'll make some space for some extras, for some extra people to slide into there. With 200 rounds ready and 200 rounds reserve. Actually, I think we should. Speaking of which, speaking of which, I do wonder if 30 by 173 millimeter. I wonder, like, after all, we for to keep costs down, we do license build, um we do license build main weapons from as designed by others. So actually, let's see if there's an available 30 by 173. That's bit too big, slightly too big. Mark 44 Bushmaster 2. I mean, can you go wrong with this? 100 to 200 rounds per minute. That's not quick enough, unfortunately. It's not fast enough. Actually, let me see if I chain gun. Let's see if we can find something more suitable for this. If not, we'll just stick with the 25 millimeter. The Stoner 63. Let's XM274 automatic cannon, large caliber cannons. Development of largest calibers is 25. Called the Bushmaster 6.4 model. I think we'll stick to, for simplicity's sake, we'll stick to the 25 millimeter, which simplifies a lot of things for everyone. Where is that? That's a rotary or the Awarelicon KBA. Anyways, so this we're quite proud of. We have made that, and just completed today. Hold on, we have our unit prices here. Hold on. Unit price 3.5 million Pakistani dinar, 3 million there. 5.5 million, and then for this one, that's gonna have to be 6.3 million because of the all the electronics involved. Please do understand, of course. Actually, should we lowball it a little bit? I think maybe we can get away with lowballing it a little bit. We don't want to drive away customers, of course. And that would be, hold on, where is that? On turret top for commander. That won't be necessary. RCWS for on hull for driver. 10 smoke grenade launchers. That would make for a nice ensemble. Gao 12. Hmm. I do have the specs somewhere else. 20, 171. Is that 137 millimeter? 137 millimeter. Or have I been mislabeling it? Nope, it's right. 137. We'll display our own designation for that in a second. Um, well, I do have the I do have the where is that? Room 116 Ram missile pod Gao 12. Anyways, Army Recruitment's drone killing maneuver air defense system. Relatively simple. Take one of these. Take digital fire control um electronics du- dual mode where is that? Digital fire control and actual digital fire control rate and search and track radar ballistic computer um mm, for gunner for the commander and gunner. Of course, in this modern battle space, we are going to have some kind of anti-aircraft vehicle to protect these tanks from what we are going to be seeing quite soon as we see this is devolving into an air war, and has already devolved into an air war with light close air support aircraft. We are going to have to be um prescient about those. What is that? But 6-pack launchers. 6-pack launchers. So on turret roof. M66 RCWS on the hull for driver. 10 smoke grenade launchers. That's all fine and dandy. Version of this 6-pack launcher, serviceable show rad. We're not exactly advanced enough to have laser weapons for this, but this will do very fine against drones as well. Gotta go, my friend. Take care. See ya, Kilroy. Remember, we're always open. Anyways, going back after that, and crew amenities microwave oven. Well, I mean, let's add back in the miniature fridge. V12 diesel. That's all very well. Oh, this one I've had on my mind for a bit of a while. Type 335M. This version. Where is that? Most of our specialty is in the small arms and light weapons, but our pride and joy has been our armor as of recent. The type only used. Prepping for the increased border skirmishes between Awawa land and of the Liacons. Silver anti-aircraft gun. Well, hold on, where is that? Oh, let's there we go. That's more like it. Three, type 3 3. This is gonna be diabolical. Oh, I'm getting a call from someone. I'm getting a call for someone. Um, we do have that situation to deal with. Mm, I'm 67 Zippo. This is like legit the real life version of what I'm looking at. Kind of that plus um M132 armored. The cleanup vehicle. What if we designate it as the cleanup vehicle? Um 2.7. It is gonna be cheaper, but it is gonna still retain a lot of its general capabilities. Mm, putting this together a bit on the fly here. Mm, modified Type 333 Hollanton is a flamethrower carrier. Um, what what should we call this, boys? What should we call this one? Think both sides will get a real kick out of this one. Assault repellent vehicle. No, that's too on the that's a bit too on the nose. Demolitions, no. Incendiary clearing vehicle. Um, vegetation clearing vehicle. That implies it's only for vegetation. It could be used on structures too. Obstruction clearing vehicle. Um, is that too general of a term? Because that could mean mine clearing line charges, but I'm not entirely sure. I mean, could fire those if it wanted to. Looking at this, that image does go kind of hard. That is quite a hard image. In, ca- obstruction clearing vehicle. Hmm. M76 tank flamethrower. Rod rods of flames. What we could do with this is combine this with. Oh yeah, Robert Redford died, which is it's a real. It's a like I have my thoughts on him as an actor, but he was an interesting actor. Um, there we go. That's what we're looking for. So we'll do a combination of that and hold on. Forum Forum Army. I thought that was a War Thunder logo. This would go hard in War Thunder though. T not on a T72 T90 chassis. Well, we're putting one on an M60. But this is more like it. This is more 30 rounds, 15 per second. What are the TOS 1A system? Yeah, I think that'll do. obstruction clearing vehicle. Obstruction clear. Obstruction clearing vehicle length 2.3 meters. Um, that's gonna be a bit. That's gonna be a bit taller. Um, it does need a bit of a more hull down because it is kind of vulnerable to the things it's meant to be used for, used against. Pip Panzer 1, 334 M. That's 45 tons. That'll be that no, that'll be 44 tons metric. 55 tons metric. Actually, that rounds out to 50 pretty well. Power plant. Crew amenities. That'll round out probably to is that for 48 tons? Yeah, that's probably going to be around 46 tons. And then this would be around maybe 45 tons. Yeah. That makes the most sense. Arm So, hold on. Instead of this, instead of all that, um, on turret top for commander, that would make sense. Hmm. See, we can either do it with through the coaxial or through the main gun. Well, the replacement of the main gun with most of these rockets are probably gonna look make the main gun redundant. So I think we'll project it out of the main gun. Hmm. Those are for. I mean, you can put something else on there. I'm just saying. On hull for driver coaxial with turret. I think that's about right. Hold on. That that won't be necessary. I don't think. That won't be necessary. D- is it coaxial? Um, hold on. M4 with a 105 howitzer and a coaxial H1A H5A flamethrower, huh? TO the TO62, TO55. I know those had their flamethrowers as coaxials to their main, but I think this is going to be a dedicated flamethrowing vehicle, so that's going to be a bit different here. Hmm. Armament. RCW remote control weapon system on turret top. That would make that would be fine actually. Let's add that back in. Hmm. Yeah. How many seconds of fuel are we looking at? Probably the kind of fuel capacity we're looking at. I'm going to imagine it's about 11 seconds. 11 seconds on full blast. And the main armament is going to be main armament. What we're looking at is going to be probably where is that? Oh yeah, that is what Winco is based on the name as a name. 1988 times Is it times 8? No, times 5? Excuse me. I think we'll do that. I think we'll do that kind of rocket pod. Hmm. Actually, what caliber are these rockets? 220 millimeter. That's a lot bigger than the ones I was picturing. Hmm. Hmm. Actually, hold on. This could have a serious role as a lot of things actually. Well, no, there's gonna be a dedicated multiple rocket launch system later on. High pressure flamethrower 11 seconds. Um. Hmm. Yeah. Time the 5 pack to 220. So they can reload times 5 to 20 millimeters Soviet thermobaric rockets on either side. Times 10? No. That'll be times a 4 on 4 packs of the side. Is that I think yeah, that would be on sides of on both sides of turret. Side skirts, applique RERA. This would be ceramic steel RHA side skirts. 1047 liter fuel capacity, 42 kilometer range, battery pack with a blow up panel. Some part of me wonders if I should incorporate a 25 millimeter, if I should incorporate the autocannon on the main, but I'm not sure. I'm not entirely sure. I guess it'll be an option. It could be an option. You want a 20 mil, it's up there. You want a minigun, it's up there. With blow up panel, of course, as necessary with many hybrid vehicles. We do have a blow up panel for the battery. We do have a blow up panel for the battery. Ballistic computer for gunner, infrared 8x scope for commander and gun. I think it would be engaging at that sort of range anyway. With blow up panel, counter heat, slat armor, counter drone, cage armor. I think incorporating Hydra 70s on the sides of some of these would fare pretty well. Hmm. Obstruction of and for added bite for added bite 3338 2.7 that would be 5 million obstruction clearing vehicle. um ML oh, MLRS, is that the acronym I'm looking for? Multiple launch rocket system. Unit price type 3333. Oh, direct. as an armored ML. Yeah, mm, and missile artillery support. That would be. Yeah, that would be on turret top where we're getting rid of that. It would not be close enough for that coaxial with turret. No. Hmm. M277. Hold on. M270. M27. Yeah. M277. M270A2 would be using some of these. ATACMS, short range supersonic tactical ballistic missile system. That would be nice as an integration to integrate multiple multiple improvements have been seen use here. HIMAR family of medium tactical vehicles. That's on the HIMARS. Restart production of the MLRS. Upgraded to fire guided rounds. That would be real swell if we put it on one of ours. Of course, we do plan to offer light tank variations of all these for some to get them more mobile and running on the battlefield. But that might be for another time. That might be for another time. I might have to work on this storefront a bit more. Mm, obstruction clearing vehicle. HE frag. Hmm. I can't really talk as much openly about what I want to say because there are people downstairs. But anyways, what we have here, I can at least finish this and then probably decide on what to sell to the Leocons. Infrared NVG for all crew members. Hull for driver, of course, that's entirely necessary. Um, Miniature refrigerator weight is probably going to be 60 tons metric. Probably decrease top speed as well because we're carrying all that. Um, Carrying all that. 25 rounds, 50 tons, 33 miles per hour. It wouldn't be that. It wouldn't be as bad. Probably, yeah, maybe around 57 tons metric. Height 2. Well, I'll have to adjust the heights later on. But we will have. Oh, that's something else. Hmm. There we go. Let's see what we effective firing 227 millimeter. 12 MLRS or 2 ATCMS, 2 precision strike missile. ATACMS. That would be, yeah. ATA. Or, hold on, or. Hold on, what is the. 12x. What caliber? 227 millimeter. Actually, should we? Should we make it so it shares? Nah, that's keep it proprietary. So this so they can reload. Hmm. What should deciding what the M2 M26 M26 rockets. Oh, this is a lot we could work with. Um, each rocket pod contains six identical rockets. The M26. Hmm. Aluminum hull, aluminum cab. Well, ours is going to be a lot heavier because it's armored. 228.9-inch caliber. 227 millimeter. 8.9 inches. I think when putting this together, we'll put that as just as a stopgap measure. On hull for driver, ballistic computer for 12x scope. I think we'll go for a 16x scope for that one. On our same as on our precision fires equipment. And then we'll do some more stat polishing in a bit. But we do need something for the Leacons to buy and train and work with. I do know Leah's a big fan of Metal Gear. So, I mean, I mean, this would be more like not exactly for the plot, but more for the characters that don't have canon relationships. Hmm. What would she take a liking to? What would they take a liking to? Hmm. Surely, hold on. I mean, hold on. Sons of Liberty. Yeah, there isn't she might. Although I know from what I understand, Leocons might have some small hands. So, hmm. Normally I'm a bit better at this, although designing something for this situation is a bit harder. Feeds M14 primary variant delivered special order only. MIDI 14 platforms. Hmm. I think what we can market is our S3 from the 338 Norman Magnum. I think we can market that for them. Bolt action proprietary mag. Hold on. Where is that? Feeds proprietary. There we go. They won't be doing too much shooting and moving. They'll just be mostly shooting, I assume. Um, this is a predicament in it of itself. Um, hmm. I am. Actually, 6.6 magazine. Weight loaded plus the weight of 30, 7 point to 7.5 pounds. I think we'll stick them with the mini 14 for now for general simplicity purposes. Hmm. Rating Abrams tank and Shannon Moses. We do know she's a fan of a bit of a fan of. Well, I haven't actually seen her talk about the game. She hasn't played the game, Leah. But funny enough, but I know she does because of like her talking to Mint. No, was it Mint? No, she was Pomu at that time. She was talking to Pomu about this and this situation and what she's interested in. Hmm. You can. What could I give them? I wonder. Springfield Armory TRP. Oh yeah, this is. Hmm. Is that a carbon fiber barrel? Carbon fiber. Yeah, that is. Lethal counterpart. Neither has degradable suppressor. PSS. They wouldn't be using that. They wouldn't be. They definitely wouldn't be using that. This is infamous for requiring large hands. Although I mean I mean I mean that's I mean those are some pretty small those are some pretty small hands. I know they wouldn't be fond of a bullpup because that involves a heavy trigger, and they wouldn't be fond of a heavy trigger. Finding something that's suitable for them is a lot harder than it feels. Machine Guns HK21E. That could have been the Star Knights one, but I decided on the MG3 instead. Um, hmm. this this is a conundrum. This is a real conundrum. L- Would they? I'm not sure. 17 pounds. I'm not sure if they would take well to that. Hmm. Would they 23.5? That they would think they wouldn't be fond of that one either. Of course, we do have to find them some kind of fire support weapon. We do have to market to them, of course. Hmm. They are not handling that. They are not handling that. Hmm. The UKM 2000 mass. That's promising. It's generally lighter. The UKM 2000 M13 links. Non-disintegrating closed link metallic belt type using the PKM as a pull-out design. Polish forces in Afghanistan. External similarity. Use the Kalashnikov design. Electric solenoid trigger. What is the P? Infantry variant. 19, 18.52 pounds. Would they be able to handle that? This would feel like a crew served, almost like a crew served thing. I am trying to give them the lightest weight version possible. Um, Vector SS77, 21 pounds. That would not be fun for them. Hmm. An LDMG5. Hmm. we need to find something lighter. Um, GPMGs such the FNM 240, AA 52. That's French, unfortunately. While I do quite like the French, a lot of people are not. A lot of people in phase are not interested in the French. 24249 saw. That is a bit. Hold on. 17 pounds empty, 22 pounds loaded with 200 rounds. Um, Actually, let's check with this again. So, hmm, 17 pounds, 22 pounds loaded. And Negev, the H bar, the Ultimax 100. That would be an interesting choice for them, given the ease of use element that it has. The Ares Shrike 556, the Cult IAR, the RPD, QBZ 95. Hmm. Nope, not that one. That is infamous for not working correctly. 7.5, 7.9. They might end up getting the same stuff we might. I'm not sure. Kua automatic, the Colt automatic, 12.7. The INSAS LMG, the RPG, belt fetter magazine. That might be a bit controversial. Mm, LMG 25. Finding something for this situation is, I've said it before, but what could he carry? What could he carry in your opinion? Maxim Tokarev, Lewis Gahn. No, that's out of the question. I mean, there's not much choice for them. There's not too many choices. That was somewhere else. I remember checking that out a week ago, I think. The MG36 belt fed. The MG4. Hmm. 17 17.4. With a shorter barrel. That might it just hold on. Would this work for them? I'm not quite sure. MG4E, the MG4, 5.3, 15.1. So the mini-me would be this version would be a bit less taxing on the person. So I guess what other choice do we have but the what other choice do we have? The 249 saw. Um come up with a designation for that later on, and something that mimics this manual of arms, because this is they're gonna be used to this, but they're not gonna be used to other stuff. How about Type 89? Will they know how to work one of these? I'm not sure. Oh, he's got a brass catcher on his. Hmm. How much does this weigh? 7.7 pounds. That's still heavier than the Ruger proposed they use. Armalite AR-18, Japan Self-Defense Forces, how Type 20. Hmm. The JG SDF. What else? What are they running? Because Leah's half Japanese. Hmm. Something that they could standardize on. That looks. Hmm. They're not gonna like that backstrap. It's gonna be quite large for them. The Minimi PM9, how about Type 89, FN Minimi. So they are running that. Sumitomo Type 62. Hmm. How about Type 64? How Special Forces use. I think they might wind up getting. No, they wouldn't be. They might not be familiar enough with hammer fired guns to know what to do with one. Hmm. 417s and all of that. Hmm. So wait, they don't have a standard GPMG. Mostly replaced but remains in service. Hmm. Post World War II examples. Let's see what they the FN mag. It would like this would normally be the right choice, but they wouldn't be able to carry it very far. The Mark 48. Let's see how much that weighs with 100 rounds. 24 pounds with 100 rounds. That would be the obvious choice, but it's not. It might not always be the obvious choice. Hmm. 20 pounds. AK-999. Oh, I haven't heard of that one before. The Zostava M84. Vector SS-77. Which one is this again? 21, 20, 18 pounds with 100 rounds. Ugh. Hmm. Would they use one of these? It's not always obvious. I don't think so. Maybe they're gonna have to learn to carry something at some point. So C6A1 Canadian version, FN Evolves. Are we licensed to produce these? I'm not entirely sure. Are we licensed to produce these? Mm, what I think is that we'll go with that the Mark 48. 7.62 NATO. So that solves that section of their problems, and then for their officers, because they're gonna have a lot of people flooding in they've had their share of people fighting for them and fighting for them as officers. So what are they gonna wind up with? What are they gonna wind up with? I do believe this that that would I've held I haven't held one in real life, but I have like seen one in real life. They're very large, so that won't go over well for them. They might, they might, they will. Actually, they would. they they would. Is there anything more lightweight? Anything more lightweight than that? Anything easier to use? Fits them in. It might fit them enough. Hmm. Of the 5.7. Well, this doesn't have Leah's favorite characters in it, so I'm not sure if this would count. Of the Burkov. This like MGSV, like while I wish they would have used real ones for MGSV, like the concepts and the weapon concepts that they made aren't that bad. They aren't terrible. This is like it is interesting the direction they took with it. Excuse me. Geist P3. What would they use this? Of course, we don't want their equipment falling apart on them. Hmm. Hmm. Think what they might go for. No, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't. Even if she. No, no, they wouldn't go for one of those. Something absurdly simple. Something absurdly simple, but would be what would stand up to the rigors of field use. Hmm. They would drop. They might. They just might. Catching on clothes and all that. That would be. Actually, why don't we ask the why don't we ask the Leocons themselves? What would they like to see on our catalog? Oh. Nah, that would be too cheap. Let's see what the let's check on developments of this let's check on developments. Will your cons please coca? Will your cons will be routed? To buy from Pakistan with this. Leocon's not beating the allegations of this game choice. Danganronpa. Holy Pipple is due now. I'm so out of the loop. Yeah, it is getting a bit maddening. We sell binoculars so he can Leocons will be fixated on more things than the enemy in front of them. Um, strike back at them with full force. They're really champing at the bit to go at it. Train on Leoc. Propaganda videos about Leocon's Star Night War with some Star Night War suggested. Leoc. Well, we've already looked at that. Wishes to arm the other 11. What exactly? Leocon's playing dirty AC. What exactly would they want from such a from our proposed up to date package? Would it be insulting to just give him a Glock? Would it be insulting? It might be. It might be. It just might be. Alpha fuck. Hold on. Polymer frame hammer fired. Hmm. FH FHX45. Polymer DASAs. That's a hard sell for would would they know what to do with these even? Would they even know what to do? Would they even know what to do with these? I'm trying to get a beat on them. Actually, hold on. I know exactly what to give them. Hmm. Cal I mean, it's close enough to Florida is close enough to Puerto Rico, so she might end up with one of these. Um, just so she might end up with one of these anyway. It's reasonably lightweight. Hold on. What? Yeah, yes, I am. Lightest and lightest and thinnest. Would they know what to do with the grip safety? Would they know how to use this at all? Of Keltec. would See, I don't have not to be disparaging, of course. I don't have this problem with the Star Knights because I can know that whatever I hand them, they'll know what to do with. This here, hold on, I'm getting a call. I'm getting a call. I would apologize. Hold on. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Anyways, the question is, would they know what to do if they saw one of these? Unironically, I was considering giving him one of these because, keep it really simple for them. Actually, they might. Would they? No, I'm not sure. Sub 2000, the SU-16. You know what? Can't be too can't be too hard on them. And of course, 23. Is it the 22 or the 23? Is it the 22 or the 23? No, it's the is it the 21? It's the is it the 30? No, that's the end. That's Faye Valentine's. Um what would they do? Huh. Is it the 36? Is it um 20 where is that? Hold on. Yeah, I think they have they would just go with one of these. Given the given most of them may not be entirely familiar with what to do with one. Standard capacity of 10 rounds. Hold on. The single position feed, a +1 base plate. The 30, the 36, the 41, the 20. Yeah, the 21. 7 sim. Would be I think that rounds out what we're marketing to them. That for now, we might have, of course, other upgrade packages on offer. Keltec mentioned, yeah, Keltec mentioned they might get Keltec packages in the future. Hmm. But for now, they're getting the 870 because they know how to pump. They would know how to pump things. They're Leacons, they would know how to pump things. Nice to see you, Dantiok fanboy. Actually, on special order, special order only, because I'm not sure if they can handle that. Special order only. Except, no, special order only, because because they have such small. Nah, as a small hand user myself, I think they'd be fine with the 17. Actually, if, but given their kind of masochists, special order only. Given oh yeah, from what I understand, Jelly's forces are using Lugers, or I guess they call them Jugers over there, but but we are offering support and caliber upgrades for those, for the Star Knights. Let's see what else I can expound on. You got any input, Dantiok? I was considering ending early, but your arrival made me think of what are the other ways I could, what else could I put on this catalog? What else could I put on this catalog? And let's check in on the not a whole normie news network. Lab hymns are actively participating in the Leacon war effort. Reports of sloppy kisses, yaoi fanfics, and bottoming have surfaced as frontline movement decreases due to entrenchment by both sides. Well, we gotta play into that. We gotta play into that. I think they're waiting. They're too busy gooning, like edging. They're edging each other. That's what they're doing. That's what the front line looks like. They're edging each other, and the first person who busts loses, unless they can direct their shots effectively into the other territory. They are the they are the Yaoi support. Well, up. I've been busy. I see. The Battle of Abelberg. As we have seen here, we are wanting to provide full spectrum packages for everyone involved. Mm, we have our Panzer one. We have we did being the technical master that I am. We will be selling a lot of technicals. What they will be. Thinking given we're Pakistani, it would probably be built on a GMC platform, either a Toyota or a GMC. Knowing Pippa, if I I'm pretty like I don't want to like dox Pippa or anything in real life. I don't know what she is. I don't know who she is. I'm gonna stay out of that. But I'm pretty sure she drives like a Silverado or a GMC in real life. I know Poppykin's a GM guy. Excuse me as I have a fiddle. I have a fidget, I mean. The door moves. Neither side has returned a request for comment at this time. Hmm. What do you mean I killed Granny Ruse? Their favorite act of watching from the chair while other parties go at it. Let's hear what Jelly has to say about that.
That's gay.
Oh,
That's
that
gay. That's gay. That's gay. That's gay. That's gay, dude.
I've been busy,
That's gay. It's gay and I hate it.
Anyways, I do think our next product development, which will unfortunately require a bit more brain power than I was expecting, um, is is developing a modular technical system for our armored vehicles for order. We will have other ones as well, tracked, like both tracked and untracked. Hmm. Doing a full lineup, full on lineup. I say as I struggle to come up with further things. You know what would be insane, Antioch? If I offered upgrade packages of these. These aren't actually because these they did have some upgrade packages later on. 1953 to 1969. Would this be viable? This is the Taiwanese using it. Would this be viable for us to sell? I'm not entirely sure. Hmm. There's significantly thicker armor, or simply a rebuilt M51, entirely cast steel, and the interior dimensions are smaller. They have been significantly upgraded, but I'm not sure because this is technically um in 1950 Little Bulldog, subsequently Walker Bulldog, 1951 and 1954. We're currently selling the M variants of this, the M60 tank, which would be designed in 1957. This I am a bit hesitant, but M551 Sheridan, this does exist. 1959 to 1965, 1959 present. This wasn't um Walker Bulldog. The lifespan of the M41 was fairly short. At 25 tons, it was considered too heavy to be a true light tank, rather at a short cruising range. An even lighter replacement mounting the same gun, the T97, the T92. That has some promise. The T71 and the T92. T92 to be promised to be more promising. Promised to be more promising. As the prototypes were entering testing, information about the new Soviet PT-76 tank, the T-92 could not be easily refitted for this role, so the Army canceled the program in 1958. This is a predicament. And the issue is that these never left the US. These are a very it was not a very good vehicle. I am like spurting out a little bit because of like just talking about tanks. This was not very good at what is supposed to do. It was yeah, it wasn't fun. Actually, Cadillac Cadillac Gauge Stingray. Stingray light tank in service 1989 to present. How long have produced 1959 to 1962, 1962, 1983. Hold on, production version, development. As well as any other vehicle on the battlefield. I'm wanting to see if I can like align my time periods properly. Second generation MBT was the M60A1 version of the M60 series. The first Soviet. Technically, I feel like this would be like an early second generation one, probably comparable to the T-55. This is what the Type 333, what I was just spurting on about. This is what it was based on, the M60 patent. Lima tank plant. I know a guy named Lima. I know a guy named Lima. M60A3 on a 1-for-1 basis. Hold on. The M60 series officially standardized the type. Was approved in early, abandoning further development of the advanced composite armor and the closure of the T-95 medium tank project. Well, we continued the composite armor element. Silicus cord armor provided improved ballistic protection. T-95 E7 turret. What is it? The T-95 E7. 5 East. Yeah, it's the bean-shaped one. It's instead of the round-shaped one. That would make sense. The T-95 E7. Yeah, of the M103. Line of Star armor standard. Upper glacis. During field training it looks like you ever notice that the turret kind of looks like a bean? Looks like a bean. It looks like, in my opinion, it looks like a bean. I like the all metal. Like, there's something charming about the all metal, heavy metal look of late Cold War battle tanks, late Cold War main battle tanks, because these weren't like. I do like the Abrams a lot. I do like, of course, I'm fond of the Abrams and like newer tanks. But before composite armor, which I do like composite armor, but before that, all like the big rough metal sidings, like in these cast into these aggressive and like interesting looking rounded shapes. It scratches that itch. It scratches that like mechanical love itch, that I really like. Hmm. Hmm. Produced into the production line. Into the production line. How long was this produced? The Sheridan. There's the Sheridan. This is the M41 Walker Bulldog, which is still in service. They dropped that in 1969. 1989 to present. We could make a new one. But we would. I would at least prefer if it was semi-compatible with elements of what we have in service. 1989 to present. 1959 to present. Hull. Moving the cannon 5 inches forward. Add-on stabilization, because admittedly most of like the tank upgrades are literally removing the turret and then putting a new one on. That is how most tanks are upgraded. They just take off the turret and put on a new one. Maybe put on a better engine as well. But a comprehensive upgrade of the M60A1 hull. Ours is supposed to be based on the A3. The Type 333 is based on the A3. Um, so this was a comprehensive upgrade at least. Tank full combat, fully tracked, 105 millimeter gun, M60A3, M60A1 Rise Hull, 60A1 Rock to the M60A3. So the M60A1 would be 1961, M60E1 1961, 1969. How long was this built? Because I'm trying to decide if this is all worth it. If this is all worth it. 1950 M41 eighth of the Stingray light tank. M41 105. So there is some possibilities there. The M41 105 with cracked structural components. That's worrying. Hmm. And 551 Sheridan Hull for trials. The first prototype was completed in 1985, debuted in public later that year. Hold on. So our starting point for the hulls would be 1960. When was the is the Sheridan? When was that approved? Design 1960. In service from 1969 to 1997. In 1969. I think I'll dwell on this a little bit longer. Thank you everyone who came. Thank you Dantioch fanboy, and thank you Kilroy's. Where should let's see where I should send y'all off. Let's see where I should send y'all off. Where's the M subscriptions? All right. All right. Let's see who. Dexter Crowley, Hansi Miles. Oh, Tomoe is playing Space Marine. The Alien Mixture made mint. State of play is state of play. Hoops all lead. There's Kara. There's Kara. There's Kara. I think I'll send y'all to Haunty Miles. Thank you everyone who came. Otsu love. I'll be seeing y'all if everything continues as I think it would. Next Thursday. Raid.